Do you know who I am? Do you know what I'm called? Mr. FEIJOA to you.
This episode is all about growing feijoas. I have 8 trees which I've managed to squeeze into my small garden, and they're all living around the front of my house. But first, a little bit about the fruit, because it's not commonly seen in supermarkets or even farmers markets. It's a real garden fruit. Possibly the only way you're really going to get a taste of this is to have it gifted by a neighbour or to grow your own. There's lots you can do with the fruit. Jams, chutneys, crumbles, muffins, but they're also beautiful eaten fresh. They've got an aroma to them that is so sweet and sherbety. They taste a little like pineapple, strawberry, guava. And they're a strange fruit because although they're cool climate, they taste very tropical. And they also come into harvest in autumn when there's not that much available in the garden in the form of fresh fruit. So they offer this beautiful taste of the end of summer and the tropics in a climate that is pretty chilly right now. The feijoa originates from Brazil, but the New Zealanders have definitely taken it on as one of their own. When you go to a nursery to buy your feijoas, you'll often only see the one generic variety for sale. But if you're growing more than one feijoa, it's best to look out for and buy different name varieties. It's because they like to cross-pollinate. So I've got 6 different varieties and a generic. The other choice you'll often have is between seedlings and grafted. Seedlings are often considerably cheaper, but the disadvantage is they don't come true to the cultivar, whereas grafted cultivars will be exactly what you've purchased. The other disadvantage of seedlings is it can take up to about 10 years for them to fruit. My feijoas are all seedlings, and they've really only started fruiting in about the last 2 or 3 years. Feijoas are bird-attracting plants, and they're pollinated by small birds. The reason why I chose feijoas for this position is A, because I really like the fruit, but also they have some very good landscaping potential, and especially for this position because they can handle semi-shade, and this is quite a shaded position, and be pruned if needed. I wanted something to shield the windows if I leave them open from the street, and I've got a bit of a way to go for that to work. They're a pretty plant. They've got these lovely dark glossy leaves. They have a beautiful red, crimson to pink, depending on the variety, flower that's edible. They're hardy, so I don't water very much in here because the chickens run through here and they like to dust bath. They're hard to see because they're green and they look like leaves. Oh, hi. I'm looking for feijoas. Actually, the best way to know when a feijoa is ripe is when they've fallen off the tree. But unfortunately, that's quite a lot of competition. I've got chickens running through here and I've got possums and birds, so I often pick the feijoa off the tree and then ripen it on my windowsill. You prune feijoas in autumn after you've harvested all the fruit. Feijoas respond very well to pruning, and you can keep them pruned into a hedge shape or let them grow into trees. My aim is to get them down a bit from the eaves, hedge them up a little, so prune to thicken them up a little, and then at the bottom just get them up off the ground. There's lots of branches lying flat on the ground. The wood of the stems is quite soft and they're very easy to clip and cut. When cutting back, cut back to the branch, and this reduces these long low laterals. Go for a nice clean cut as close to the trunk as you can. Dead, remove damaged, and just generally shape. Well, I'm done. I think I've got about 20 years to go before I get to the Auckland Botanic Gardens aesthetic. Now for the eating. If you let the fruit go quite soft, not squishy, it definitely is a sweeter taste sensation. As mentioned earlier, the flower's edible, and it is one of the nicer edible flowers. It's quite a sweet flavour. Goes great on a cheese platter. This is a feijoa coconut and chia seed pudding. I'll leave the recipe link in the description because it's a Thermomix recipe. Basically, it's just a matter of peeling and cooking the feijoa for about 5 minutes. And then you just add all the other ingredients. Blitz the mixture for about 10 seconds, pour into a glass, and then allow the glass to cool down at room temperature, and then refrigerate for a minimum of 2 hours, and then best is to let the pudding chill overnight. When you're ripening feijoas inside, the whole house has the aroma of feijoa. It's beautiful. The one thing that surprises me the most about feijoas is that it's just not more famous. There's not a tree in every backyard. Such a beautiful fruit, worth trying. I'm going to wave you out with some art. Mum and I have been at it again painting, and we are using feijoa as our theme. Well, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the comments and subscriptions, and I hope to see you in the next episode.